Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Flying Fluffy Hockey review of Game 2 between the Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning, in which the Panthers took a dramatic 3-2 overtime victory, the first overtime game of the entire NHL playoffs this year. Colin thinks that Bennett is out for the first round. I do not believe we have gotten any official word yet on the injury. So Nylander, for those of you who were wondering, Nylander will be a game times decision again in game 3 between the Leafs and Bruins. Sheldon Keefe was quoted as saying, "There's a chance." Interesting.
All right. Put on your headphones, Kyle.
Hang on a second.
Good morning, everybody.
So quickly, Dad. Hang on a second. All right, I can hear you now.
All right, you can hear me now. All right, so the first thing I'm going to say before anything else, anybody come to this stream celebrating an injury, instant permanent ban, no questions, no second guesses, no nothing, kaputs, out. I said this in the recap last night. I'll say it again. You guys know how I feel about Anton Lundell. If you watch the overtime goal last night, that was Chucky making the play, getting the puck to Lundell, and Lundell threading a Barkov-esque pass right through 3 guys, right to Carter, and boom. So we need Sam Bennett on this team, don't get me wrong, but Lundell, he's not the same player, but he can do the job. Where we lose is we lose that huge advantage we have with the third line because Lundell is so good. He's not like a normal 3C. But for those of you who don't know, somebody tweeted out, I think it was Slater. It's not official news from the team yet as far as when I was just looking. But Slater says he's hearing from multiple people that the words are he will be out a lengthy amount of time. So, of course, I do what I do, and I retweeted, well, define lengthy, right? Because, if it's 2 to 3 weeks, that's this round and maybe the next round. So we'll just have to see. I'm sure it's just a matter of whether or not he can hold the stick, obviously. And we move on. We roll. That's you know what I mean. We can win this. We can win this series, especially this series right now without Sam Bennett. I don't like it any more than anybody else does. But what Maurice said in this post game is accurate in that we've played a lot of times. Sam has been in and out of the lineup, and whenever we've had to deal with that, Lundell's gone up there for the most part. Lundell's taken Barkov's spot. So here's your chance, Lundell. You're 22. You're an RFA, and here you go, right? And so you just slide everybody up. You just go Barkov, Lundell, Stenlin, Lorentz. Lorentz has looked really good.
Yeah.
I don't think we lose a whole lot there between Lorentz and Stenlin. They're smart hockey players. And yeah, do you hate to lose the edge of a Sam Bennett? Sure. Okay. We all hate that. But the other end to that is if Bubba's going to play like that, I mean, we're only going to get 2 or 3 goals a game anyway. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I mean, Bennett was on fire, but when we're playing Vasilevsky, we're going to get 3 goals. We need to win the game with 3 goals if we're going to get them. So defensively, we're fine. And let's just finish this series and see what Paul says, see what the team says. Is it 1-2? Is it 2-3? Is it a month? Right? because lengthy in the context of the playoffs, that's different than the regular season. So go ahead, Kyle.
Petra Vakamu says, Bolts fan here. Great game last night. If we get S word, but the rest of the games are like this, that's all a fan can ask for. Best goalie
Kyle,
duel I've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah. Miami, yeah. There's no official news from the team, but Slater tweeted out that he's hearing from multiple sources that Bennett will be out, quote, a lengthy amount of time. So we move. That's I hate losing Bennett, but we're kind of used to that around here, right? He's always in and out of the lineup. Chris says you might need to get a gym membership, Jaws. There won't be too much scoring this series. Yeah, there's no joke about that, right? I did push-ups twice, and I didn't do them for one of the Tampa goals the other night because there was like 8 seconds left and we were winning, so I didn't do them. Hold on, Kyle. I got to crack this window. Go ahead, Kyle.
It's okay. Let's see.
All right. But for sure, we are Boston and Toronto fans right now. We want Boston and Toronto to do both to do so well that it's just rock'em sock'em, 7 games, bunch of them go to multiple overtimes. Yeah. That'll give Bennett a little bit extra time to heal up. So we'll just see. Is it broken? Is it sprained? Is it a hand? Is it a wrist? Right? Because if it's wrist, then he could probably grip the stick, but he can't shoot. So we've got centers galore. I mean, when you think about it, Barkov, Lundell, Stenler, Lorentz, and that doesn't even bring up the fact that Reinhardt's a center, right? Who else was I going to say? There's somebody else that's a center that you could move. Luosterainen was our 4C. He can play center, so we'll be okay. We'll be all right. And
so
Sean says Kyle needs to work on the clothing. Are you a Panther fan or what?
This is the same shirt I'm going to be wearing tonight for the Leafs and Bruins game.
We're just lucky Kyle is awake. We're lucky Kyle is awake. If y'all would have heard the let's just say if I wouldn't make anybody privy to the conversation we had when I told Kyle we were going to do the review after all the games during the playoffs, whether the Panthers played the night before or not. Yeah, Robert says Lundell at 2C, we should be fine closing the Lightning out. Hopefully Bennett is back in the next series. Yep. Rings of Saturn says, have you guys watched any of the other series? This chat's moving so fast. Hold on a second. He says, have you guys watched any of the other series this Battle of Florida's kind of team as far as the violence? Most hits, yes, but no net scrums, chirping threats, particularly none compared to the other series. Well, we've watched, we're calling all of the Boston-Toronto games. We watched some of that Canes-Islander game. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be as obnoxiously chippy as some of the other series. I think that the Panthers are trying to conserve as much energy as they possibly can for further on. I know that sounds odd, but I think we all can see on the ice they're playing well and they're playing their structure perfectly. But we're not doing what we did in previous times, which is just trying to kill everybody with every hit. And I think both teams, to be honest, don't want the power plays, right? It's not like our power play sucks. Go ahead, Kyle.
Well, last night we killed a double minor against the best regular season power play team in the league. Oh, Ashman says hi, sending love from the UK.
Hi, Ashman. Yeah, Julian says, Alicia, we're not a Jets or a Colorado fan. I'd be working out 7 games. Yeah, Yeah. Well, we finished both of those games off last night. We watched them, but it wasn't any real drama towards the end. That's we didn't want to turn it off. The recap was taking so long to upload, so we just kept watching, and we're both like kind of like nod no, because there wasn't any drama. Both teams held their lead. But we figured if we turned it off, we'd wake up and somebody scored 2 goals in the last 2 minutes, and we'd be like, "Damn it, we should have just watched the last 2 minutes."
Ashman asks, "What's the inspiration for the channel name?"
I'll show you. So yeah,
So
that's the inspiration for the channel. He's still kicking it. He'll be 11 on June 1st. So he gets
yeah,
to have his 11th birthday party during the playoffs this year. We better be still playing June 1st. I'll be crying.
yeah. We you were muted when it was just Fluffy on the screen. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, is that right? Oh, because I
Yeah,
removed myself. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they got the idea. They got the idea. That's right. I moved. I should. Well, it was the quickest, easiest way to do it. Yeah, Fluffy's a Gemini. Yeah. Sometimes he's a pain in the ass, and the rest of the time he's a big giant baby. I
Andre
gotta
said,
tell you, I don't know if you're listening, Dana, but if you watch this, Dana's like the number. She's been our biggest supporter. She was our first member, good friend. And when Ellie died a few weeks ago or last month, um, she sent a care package for the humans and for the dog, for Fluffy. And he's got this bone. It's a soft, plushy, squeaky bone. And any toy that Fluffy ever got, Ellie would destroy Kyle in about 4.5 seconds.
"Yeah,
Any toy that was brought into the house, Ellie would grab them all and just put them on her bed and then rip them to shreds. So he has this squeaky toy now, and all he wants to do, he's an old dog and he's learned a new trick and he loves it. He comes and he's like bark, and he noses the squeaky toy towards me, and he can play catch with it now. So I'll get back 5 feet and throw it at him, and he's catching it out of the air. And any other time in his life, any other thing you throw at him, it hit him in the face, hit him on the nose. He didn't know what the hell to do. So
yeah,
you can teach an old dog new tricks. I'm watching it. That's all he wants to do all day, except go to the river.
yeah." We actually have it recorded on video, right?
Yeah.
For the intro for your recap
Yeah.
of.
The intro for the recap yesterday. That's right.
So I
Yeah.
just wanted to read a few comments real
Go ahead,
quick.
bud.
Yeah, Andre says big win last night for the Preds. You called it, Kyle. Are you referring to me saying that the Preds would shock the Canucks? Well, it doesn't help the Canucks that Thatcher Demko is now out. That could be a death blow. And Bolvar says it's a great morning. Panthers win. Dolphins legend Reggie Bush gets his Heisman Trophy back.
Oh wow.
To make it better is a Boston and Vegas win.
Yeah.
Miami, we
Oh,
are doing hockey tonight.
timeout.
Yeah.
Timeout. Sorry, Kyle. Sorry. Bolvar says update. Paul Maurice just said Bennett out at least a week. So at least the rest of this series. So okay. All right. And then we'll go from there. Sorry, Kyle. I wanted to get to that.
Yeah.
All right. So that's at least that's not an automatic, you know, 3 to 6 weeks. That's yeah, exactly what Aaron or who said that. Yeah, Robert. It's sprained. That doesn't mean that means most likely it's not broken, right? Yeah, Corey, we had seen that, but that was from Slater. He had heard that. And then Boulevard, thank you for the update. I appreciate that. All right, go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, well, Miami wasn't sure if we were doing a game tonight or not. I was saying, yeah, we're doing the Leafs Bruins game.
Yeah. And Thursday night, Panthers. Friday, Colin and I will find a game to do. And then Saturday is both. Saturday is Panthers at 5 and Bruins. Panthers at 5, Bruins, Leafs at 8. Jameson, no. Jameson says, so Bennett out a month is what Maurice is actually saying. Right. Yeah. Trey says day-to-day means the season to Paul Maurice, so week to week might be a career ender. Andres, in terms of we've got all the guys we need right now. In terms, he's asking who do we call up for Bennett. I don't think we need to add anybody to the roster right now because I know the AHL guys are either in or getting ready to do their playoffs. You just go Barkov, Lundell, Stenlund, Lorentz, and I don't really think we need to add a roster guy because that's still going to leave Gadjevich off the ice. So we still got the extra forward. And if anything happens to any of the other centers, like I said, you still got Reinhardt, you still got Luster-Reinen. So I don't think we need to add anybody right now. And then the only other thing, we haven't heard anything about it in terms of Forsling. Let's not forget Forsling was out there on one leg in that third period, right? He can skate straight. Oh yeah, thank you, Craig. I knew there was somebody I was forgetting. I forget he's on the team, but yeah, that's a good point. Okposo can go too.
Go
ahead, Kyle.
Eisenite says you should just have that clip of you screaming for Hagee in overtime, ready to play every time we go to overtime from now on since he's so clutch. Yeah, 5 playoff overtime goals for Verhaeghe. He joins a list of 6 guys.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to read the full tweets from Tim.
Okay, thank you, Kyle.
Tim Reynolds.
Okay, go ahead.
Fluffy, come on, buddy. Relax.
He's at the. Go ahead. Let me know if I have to come down there.
Sam Bennett will be out for at least a week, Paul Maurice said. It's better than the Panthers first feared.
Okay. So,
yeah.
So we beat
there
the
you
Lightning.
Have it.
Yeah.
We avoided worst case scenario.
Okay, that's good. And then what we need now, like I said, we are all Boston and Toronto fans. Okay? If Boston wins tonight, all right, on Saturday we're Toronto fans. Okay? If Boston is leading in a game, we're Toronto fans for the tie. So lots of overtime. And they go 7 games of overtime. And Kyle, do you need me to come down there to get him?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back. Fluffy sometimes. I see. I'll come down there. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he wants. Miami, we're not falling for that. We are not going to we're not going to say we want blank. That's the mistake Toronto made.
You gotta calm down. I'm right here. Okay?
He has like his water and everything, right?
He's got everything. I'm right here. Okay? I'll get you a couple pieces of bread, but then you gotta settle down and let Kyle and I do our work, okay?
Messier basically said he turns into Lundell in playoff overtime. No, he did not say Lundell's name.
All right, now you gotta relax. Now let Daddy do his work. There you go.
Yeah, we need Toronto and Tampa to go to 7, and we need Bennett in the next round.
You need Toronto and Boston.
Yeah, Timothy, I know what you're trying to say, but it's Toronto and Boston. Toronto and Boston to go to 7. And then Bennett next round. You silly boy.
All right. Okay, so then That's Maurice saying it's not as bad as we feared. So at least the week. I mean, that's at least the rest of this series, right? Because even if it goes 7, Game 4 is Saturday, right? So then I think it's Actually, let me look at that. Go ahead and run the chat for a second, Kyle.
All right. Yeah, the Bennett news is huge, and um, there's been no news at all about Forsling, which I have
Right.
to assume means that Forsling is okay.
Yeah.
I would have been more concerned if Forsling was out for any length of time, because even while he was just skating around on 1.5 legs, he was still making excellent defensive plays, especially when paired with Ekblad.
So yesterday was Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Right. So game 3 is Thursday, 4 is Saturday. If we need it, game 5 is Monday. Game 6 would be Wednesday. And then game 7, there would actually be 2 days off in between. And game 7 would be next Saturday. So that's not even a guarantee he's out for the whole series, because the series is a week and a half. And so if they're just saying maybe it's sprained or severely bruised or whatever, that may mean that's not even a guarantee for the rest of the series if it's, at least a week. So we'll go from there. Hey, Dana, good morning. Dana, I told everybody the fluffy story with the fluffy toy earlier on in the stream.
Jameson is asking, which overtime goal am I missing from Verhaeghe? I only count 4. Last night, Stanley Cup Finals, Game 3, Game 7, Boston, Game 6, Washington. He might have had one when he was a Lightning, or because I remember the other overtime goals. Let's see, Game 5 against Boston.
Somebody had tweeted it yesterday. I don't even remember seeing it. I remember seeing it, but I don't even think I liked it because I was scrolling. But somebody had tweeted it out. All of the overtime goals. I didn't look at it though. But if you go to Twitter and maybe put in his name, it might show up.
Go ahead, Kyle. Saying Game 4 versus Washington. That's right. Isn't that the game where Washington missed the empty nets, and then Verhaeghe in overtime?
It might have been. Icy says, I was watching the Bolts Locked On podcast, and he was saying that the Cats are not a defensive juggernaut. What do we think? I mean, so we had 15 or 16 straight games this year where we didn't allow more than 2 goals. Okay. If we're not, look, juggernaut is one of those words, right? It's just like that. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to me? What does it mean to him? Right? If somebody wants, what are we then? You know what I mean? If he wants to say the personnel is not exactly juggernaut-ish, okay. But like Kyle says, they're all defensemen. When there's somebody coming back and back checking and stealing the puck, it's the forwards that do that.
Yeah, we were first in the league in goals against average. So,
Michael, yeah, we definitely saw that. So we're hoping. Go ahead, Kyle.
I have to correct him slightly. Bennett is out for at least a week, not just only out for a week.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's better than they originally anticipated. Yeah.
Yeah, considering that Slater was tweeting a lengthy amount of time, like I said, define lengthy. Is he crying again?
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do for him. I don't know what to tell him. You know,
come here, Fluffy. Huh? Fluffy. Fluffy. Come on,
Kyle.
buddy. Come over here.
Kyle.
Yeah.
I'll be back. I'm just going to bring him lunch. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Sorry, everybody. I'll be right back.
It's okay, Miami. That's what we're here for, is to talk about the game and answer questions. Oh, Fluffy, you so needy. Kilo, Bennett is out for, quote, at least a week, but the good news is that it is better than the Panthers originally feared.
It's just, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can do about it. He's never been alone before. You know, he's never been the only dog.
Yeah.
You know, if Ellie was here, they'd both be laying outside in the sun, you know?
Timothy says, someone tell Montour to hit the nets, not his teammates. I hope Paul Maurice's practice today is about not shooting wide. I get that you want to play rebounds. Is that what hang on a second, because I'm sure the mainstream news outlets have give me a second. Did he really say that, Michael? Did Maurice really say that? That it's like hearing your car got into an accident, only then finding out it's only a fender bender. John says, I will take our starting 6 defensemen over any other teams. Miami, we have to conserve our energy. We will not rule out the possibility of doing the Vegas game, but it's unlikely, I would have to assume. Petra says, I saw someone tweet, I hope Bennett has the same doctors as Mark Stone. Yeah, apparently Reggie Bush got his Heisman back. Now, I don't know anything about that story. Why exactly did Reggie Bush not have his Heisman?
Oh, man, was it they were taking money? Back then, like, you weren't allowed to even make money, like, from signing a jersey or something if you were in college. So
I see.
it was something having to do with that. I don't know. Trey will know the exact details. Where'd you go, buddy?
Let's see. Let me look up something real quick. Yes. Yeah, Sam Bennett is out for at least a week.
Hopefully he'll settle down.
Let's see. The situation is better than initially thought. Let's see. Hand wrist injury. better than we originally thought. Out at least a week, and we will go from there.
Okay. All right. Oh, USC gave Reggie Bush's mom a house. Oh, okay. Jeez.
Okay.
All right. So, as far as the game is concerned, that's 2, right?
Yeah.
Now we're going to see a pissed off Tampa Bay team. Did anybody catch the highlights? Probably it was a really quick clip. They showed the Tampa bench after Verhage scored, and they kind of focused in on Duclair. And
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe the look that he gave other than like when you're at the club and you see the girl that just dumped you with a couple of hot guys in the bottle room, you know what I mean? Just that look of disgust was on his face. That's the only way I know how to describe it. He was a very unhappy man. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, I just want to read what Trey wrote real quick. He says, I know the chat is moving, but I did answer your question. USC gave Reggie's mom a house, and Reggie got his Heisman back, and Nick Saban retired because all the small schools can pay players now too. Justice all around. It was great to hear that Reggie got his Heisman back.
He looked mad and said F that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that too. I saw him mouthing, and I guess that's what he probably said was F that.
Damn it.
Oh, look. Now they beat Tampa after I leave.
Right?
I bet that's what he was thinking, at least.
And it's just, yeah, Catherine was waiting for Duke and Ekblad to get into a fight. I mean, it's always interesting because those guys they were friends. Duke was at Ekblad's wedding, right? I believe, because Duke was on the little scooter on his knee because he was rehabbing. I think that's the way it went. Timothy says, some people are mad. We keep saying Duke when he touches the puck. We're classy. I say continue even if he is the enemy. As long as we're winning the series, let people do what they want. I get it, right?
Colin says his main issue with last night's game was the stupid penalties. I mean, yeah, we did take a couple of penalties we did not need to. The double minor, running into Vazzy, neutralizing our power play within 4 seconds of it starting.
Yeah, that was it at the Bennett cross check? What was it? Bennett that cross checked the guy in the net?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He was in front of Vasilevsky, right? Wasn't in front of Bob. I forget. Anyway, look, we're killing the penalties for the most part. Oh, and Ekblad on the breakaway. Dude, man. I am not a professional skater by any length. Aaron Ekblad is not the fastest skater on the team. I think we'll put it that way. Right? Hey, Jake, how you doing, bud? Yeah. He says, I love players. I love how players can beat the hell out of each other during the hard-fought games and then go out to dinner afterwards. Meanwhile, fans get into fights. Yeah. Who was it? We were watching something. Oh, no, we were watching that basketball thing. Colin and I were watching The Last Dance. And who were the basketball players that went out and played golf the day before when there were opposing teams? I would think it was Michael Jordan and Danny Ainge, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. They way back in the day before they started winning championships and they were playing the Celtics, Jordan and Ainge, I think it was, went and played golf like the day before or the day of their game was at night.
Yeah. I've been watching The Last Dance. It's pretty cool.
Timothy, you say Spencer Knight about to win the Calder Cup. Are they have they started those playoffs yet? I would assume they have.
And
Go ahead, Kyle.
I'm just about to say nobody spoil the Last Dance for me because I have no idea how it ends.
Okay. Yeah, no spoilers for Kyle. Yeah, and then there's that save, right? Miami says it's all over ESPN, that insane save by Bob last night. To have the presence of mind to realize that he did not have time to turn around, but he knew that somebody was there. He knew that shot was coming. I cannot imagine the situation being a fan of a team where, I mean, the puck's in the back of the net, right? Like you've jumped off the couch, the puck is in the back of the net, and you're just standing there and you're like, wait, what? How did it not go in?
Yeah, which save are you referring to there?
The backwards one, the one where he stayed backwards.
Oh yeah, the one that's all over.
Yeah,
that's all over. Well, I mean, Vazzy did make some great saves. Don't get us wrong, but yeah, that one by Bob that you're talking about, it's pretty.
Yeah, I think that was somebody took a screenshot. I think that was the screenshot on Twitter, Kyle.
Yeah, you think that was the screenshot of you?
Yeah. That on Twitter, I think that was me with the Bob save.
So I've got a couple of news stories from around the NHL.
Go ahead.
Nylander is once again a game time decision, and Sheldon Keefe was quoted as saying, "There's a chance."
Right.
Sorokin is going to be starting in Game 3 for the Islanders, and Brett Pesce, the Hurricanes defenseman, suffered a significant lower body injury that will keep him out for some time.
Yeesh. That's the playoffs, man. That's when it happens. You got to have depth, right? And don't leave out Tarasenko got one last night, right? I mean, I know Bennett was on fire, but we've got depth. And then, as much as I love Bennett, losing him for this series should not be the death knell. I mean, we won it with Lundell, right? I mean, that the pass, it's funny because I watched I re-listened to the call of it, and the announcers, they just leave Lundell out of it completely. There's like, Kachuk made a great play to make a steal. The puck floated for Hagee, and he waited for Vasilevsky to go down, and then he makes the shot. They totally leave out the part where Kachuk got it to Lundell, and Lundell threaded a pass through three guys to get it to Verhaeghe. they didn't even say his name. They're just like, the puck found Verhaeghe. It's like, oh, it just found him. Hey, okay, that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, does the puck go rolling around the ice of its own accord?
Yeah.
Is it like the Quidditch in Harry Potter?
All right. It just happened and I listened to it a couple of times, and they, because they go back and review the goal, and they didn't mention Lundell at all. Then I heard the Goldie and Randy call, and of course they mentioned Lundell. So yeah, John, you're just gonna put Lundell in Bennett's spot, and you're just gonna go Barkov, Lundell, Stenlin, Lorentz, and that's it. You just move on. You just move guys up, and you just play like that. That's how we went last night. We've done that a couple times when Barkov has been out. You just put Lundell up top, and if you have any issues with that, I don't think you really would. Lundell's Stenlin's a good player. He's a solid player. When you get to this point in the season, yeah, you want the goals and everything, but your replacement guys, what you need from them is to be smart with the puck, not take stupid penalties, play good defense. And that's the definition of what Stenlin and Lorentz do. They're not going to get you a lot of goals, but Lundell don't get you a lot of goals either. So, it dings us. There's no doubt it's a ding But I mean, we beat them last night. We won in overtime. Lundell was part of that. So I mean that sums up how much confidence I have there. Go ahead, Kyle.
Damian, yes, the Hurricanes and Islanders play tomorrow. Tonight's games is Boston, Toronto at 7, Vegas and Dallas at 9:30, and Los Angeles and Edmonton at 10. Then tomorrow there's only 2 games. Florida, Tampa Bay at 7, and then Carolina and the Islanders at 7:30. So that means
Trey has an interesting opinion, which I don't necessarily disagree with. It's another way to go. He'd rather slide. Hold on a second. He'd rather put Luosterainen at 3C and move Lomberg up next to him. So you would have Lomberg, Luosterainen, Rodriguez, and then I guess you're gonna go what? Stenlund, Lorentz, Cousins. That's another way to go, certainly, and maybe that's the way they go. You don't know what Maurice is going to do. I'm judging it by what he's done so far in the past this season. So, but no, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with trying it that way either. And if that line struggles, if we have any issues with Stenlund at 3C, maybe he'll throw Luosterainen in there.
Jason, there has been no word about Forsling, and yeah, he was clearly out there hurting and still playing lockdown D.
Yeah.
But we need Forsling healthy and on the ice. Like, Bennett, go ahead.
I was just going to say the best thing that can happen in terms of Forsling is winning Wednesday and winning Saturday. I'm not gonna say what that is, but that's the best thing we could do for Forsling, because that would give him maybe a week's rest, depending upon what happens with Boston, Toronto. I think if anything was like broke, like if he had torn anything, I don't think they'd have him out there. He can skate straight. He was okay. I was watching him when he was on the ice. He was favoring that knee. But he could also move. So it must have been, it could have just been a bone bruise the way his knee hit the boards like that. I suspect if anything was really, really damaged, they would have held him out the rest of the game to take a look at it. But if it was stable enough for him to play the way he did last night, then again, Chucky scored the game-winning goal in Game 3 with a broken sternum. So what the hell do I know? Right? I mean, there's that too, right? Go ahead, Kyle.
Colin says that Lomberg is listed as possible for tomorrow. And what I'll say is, don't rush Lomberg back, because Lorentz was playing out of his mind on the fourth line last night.
Well, now that we're short a guy anyway, you would have Lomberg and Lorentz out there both.
Okay.
If Lomberg can't go, then you go Gadjevich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
if Lomberg is sick, you keep him away from the team. Don't even allow him in the locker room. Just stay home, Ryan. You know what I mean? I'm not joking. Get the hell away from the team if you're sick right now. That's the last thing we need, Barkov illness. Because when Barkov gets sick, it's 2 weeks. You know what I mean? We don't need that. So. Rings the sad and says healthy Forsling is out for the season. Nylander. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mushroom. Right? Oh, Ryan's here.
Let's see.
RC says there's only 2 games tomorrow because the NHL is avoiding the NFL draft, stealing their ratings. Yeah, but they still got the games like during the, during the draft.
Hey, would you want another 12:30 game?
No. We had that one year, didn't we? Which series was it? Somebody's got to remember. We had like a 1:00 Monday playoff game. I forget when it was. Somebody will remember. Hey, Luis, how you doing, buddy? I can't say that word, but yeah, we let's just keep winning.
So,
there was something I wanted. Oh yeah, John says don't forget our ace in the hole, Okposo. I keep forgetting him. I do keep forgetting he's on the team. If he plays, we have rough injuries if he plays. Right?
yeah,
Oh yeah,
I agree with.
Jackson. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Kyle.
Jackson, don't get too cocky. The series isn't over. It's incredible that we're up 2-0, but we need to finish this.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. I don't disagree there one bit. I expect that we're going to see, that was at Florida, right? That's not at Tampa. So we still got to go deal with them on the road. But to me, when split on the road, and then you got game 5 at home, and you can wrap it up then if you want to do this smartly. I'm not saying I don't want to win both, obviously, but especially if we win Thursday. The effort that the Lightning are going to put on the ice on Saturday to avoid elimination, we may as well just stay home. You know what I mean?
Gator 2 from Sam Bennett is out at least a week, but it is better than the Panthers initially feared.
Yeah.
Joe Tech says the Canes admin was not fired. They took the page down with their info due to messages and threats.
Oh.
That's a big difference.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't the right thing to text or to tweet out. I mean, there's trolling and all of that. And then there's, that's not okay between the teams. That stuff's for the fans.
Hey, Lewis, if you have a problem with the 6 fans joke, you should talk to Panthers Twitter, who literally posted a video of the overtime goal celebration in Amaranth Bank Arena and said, "Our 6 fans go wild."
Yeah.
That was the official Panthers Twitter.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have fun with it.
Yeah. JC, hey, buddy. He says we have to address Luongo, Hornquist, Gadjevich, Mahura, and Okposo for at least one game in the playoffs to get their names on the cup. I've got news for you about Luongo and Hornquist. Right? Yeah, Okposo, he'll get in. They didn't bring him here to not get him into a game. I don't think it'll be this one, right? But if you get one more guy that gets sick or goes down, Okposo will probably draw in, and then whenever the AHL guys are done playing, you might bring somebody up. But we've got so much depth right now, and that includes with Forsling. If Forsling needs a night off, you know.
Yeah.
If you need a night, if he needs a night off, it means his leg is broken and shattered, and he needs 24 hours for it to regenerate. So give him the night off.
So a couple of comments here. Mushroom Merchant says Sean Bergenheim waiting for his time. Did you hear that? JC says it's doable. Luongo still practices with the team on occasion. And Joe Tech, what, you want to pull him a Yager? You want him to pull a Yager? Joe Tech says, what do you two think of Duclair on Tampa and how his game looks?
He looks like Duclair. Yeah, he pretty much. I mean, I don't notice him as fast. He blew an Achilles, and before that injury, he was obscenely fast. He was extraordinarily noticeable every time he was on the ice when he was going well. I don't see that same speed. I don't see the same jump. He's a good player, and he's dangerous when he's got that puck, in his hand. But I don't think he's not the same player that he was when he was with us. I think that contributed to us moving him, and the fact that we were able to get Lorentz out of that deal. Now, looking back, that was it's not a bad deal.
Yeah, David says Duke was amazing going into the playoffs, but hasn't actually cashed in on anything in the playoffs so far. A bit of a letdown, but so has everybody else on Tampa except for Zvazzy and Stamkos. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Vasilevsky looks fine. You know what I mean? I had a feeling, man. It's just like, he hasn't had, he had the injury, but he also hasn't had a season where he didn't play 55 games or so before the playoffs. So you got to figure he's fresh and everything. And somebody had asked earlier in the chat about when do I think Stolarz will get into a game. I don't know. I don't know that that's the plan. Now that said, you could see him in game 3, but I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, we have every confidence in him right now, but especially now that Bennett is out and with the saves that Bob is making, I mean, that dude is just crazy right now. I don't think you're going to see Stolarz unless, Maurice gets the inclination that Bob might be getting a little bit gassed and needs the time off. And again, you got a 2-0 series lead. I mean, this series could easily still go 6 or 7, so don't get me wrong. But for guys like Bennett, Forsling, Bobrovsky, if you can win these next 2 and, give them some time off, that will pay huge dividends because the Rangers, I don't even know if they're breaking a sweat right now. We'll put it that way. So the point there is that, we're going to have a hard series here and then a hard series against whoever we would face next physically. You know what I mean? The Rangers and Caps, it's not really all that physical. And I'm not so sure how much of a fight the Islanders are going to have left in them after blowing that 3-0 lead. They play tonight, Kyle?
No, they play tomorrow, actually. They play half an hour after we puck drop.
Oh, okay. Todd says, I lost respect for Duclair last night. He looked like a scorn lover coming back for revenge. I'm laughing because that's kind of how I described his look on the bench about a half hour ago when Verhaeghe scored in overtime. That is how I described it pretty much. So it's out kind of how he looked. He was, but it's weird. I'm not going to criticize him. I'm just observing it because he's still friends with all those guys, right? And, it probably hurt getting traded away after losing and being basically told, we don't want you, we want this other guy, right? And, that's got to feel, and then to send them, you send them to basically hockey hell. So sometimes you get into a situation like that and you're in quote, trying to act a certain way, right? Like you don't want it to come off as you're still buddy with these guys, but you don't really know you don't hate them. So you're trying to act like you hate them. And it just looks messy to me. Go ahead, Kyle.
I'm trying to answer. Alfredo was asking how long is Benny and the Jets out? Bennett is out, quote, for at least a week, but it is better than the Panthers' first thoughts. So Ella True was saying hi. Hello, True.
Hey, Nick, how you doing, bud?
So let's see what else. What else is here? Yeah, Sunswine, that is correct. Bennett is out at least a week. Let's see. Samuel says, I remember last year watching during that Carolina game that went forever, watching y'all's reaction. It was amazing. So.
Adonis Duclair was traded. I'll read it here for you. The Sharks acquired Duclair in a trade with the Panthers last summer. We traded Duclair. We traded Duclair for Lorentz to the Sharks over the summer. He did not leave on his own accord. We traded him and gave his money to Rodriguez almost immediately. No, that's what we did. I mean, it wasn't a cap move because we immediately gave the same money to Rodriguez. It was what Vegas did to Riley Smith. They acquired Barbashev from the trade deadline, and after they won the cup, they moved Smith and gave his money to Barbashev.
So I just wanted to say something real quick. Kenneth made what I believe was a harmless joke about Panthers 6 fans, and some of the people in here took it like he was trying to troll or something. I just want to say, Kenneth, we thought it was funny.
He's not being serious, guys. He's a Leaf fan, but he's a good guy. He's on the stream every night, and he's not being seriously any part of the way. If he's joking around, it's just like he's one of us joking around. Hey, thank you, Wise. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Wise. Thank you. He says, it would be funny if we play the Rangers and win because someone trips Strotrek.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd never hear the end of that, would we?
Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Detroit Lions receiver, who was the rookie last year, 4 years, $120 million with $77 million guaranteed.
I should have played football. So Petra says, during his interview prior to the series, they asked Duke if he had texted his old teammates in Florida. Paraphrasing, he said, there are no friends during this series, and we can be friends after. Right, yeah. Or is that supposed to be can't be friends, or we can be friends after?
Yeah, I think it's we can be friends after.
Yeah, Adonis. Yeah, it was Gudis who left on his own accord. Yeah. That was money.
Anaheim was willing to pay him all that money.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Kenneth.
Thank you, Kenneth.
Cheers, Kyle. That's awesome. Amon-Ra is getting paid as much as Tyreek Hill. The Lions better know what they're doing.
If I would have been 5 inches taller, I could have played football. I was that fast. That's my there's Panamanian blood from my grandfather, and I was legitimately that fast, and but I was too short. So let's put it this way: I wasn't too small to play, but I was too smart to play because I was so small. They let me play, and then I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna go fishing." There's no 250-pound, 6-foot dudes trying to smash my head off when on the fishing pier.
Hey, John, thank you for the 5.
Hey, thank you, John. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I like it. Read that.
We traded Duclair because we needed his number 10 jersey to give to Tarasenko. Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. Ryan, I enjoy having Ryan Ree here. I'm just wondering, hey Ryan, if we win the cup, I bet the only thing you're gonna have to say is, well, you won't win it again next year, right?
Well, it's
Miami says I played football. I was 5 and playing pass and catch with my dad. Blew out my knee, and that ended my career. Yeah, my baseball career ended my football career because I was the catcher on the baseball team. So my knees are bad.
Frank.
Frank. Go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead.
Bennett is out at least a week, Maurice says, but it is better than the Panthers initially feared.
Yeah.
So, worst case scenario avoided.
Yeah. Colin says, imagine if Duke scores a game winner. He had some chances, right?
Yeah, I mean very late in the third period, he tried to break our hearts, remember? And then it went off of Bob's mask.
I do remember, right? Yeah, that's how you know when that doesn't happen. That's how you know that we're going to win. Oh wow, is that true, Super? You took an arrow to the knee once?
That's a
Oh,
joke.
oh, is
That's
it?
a joke. I
What
know
is that a
that
movie
meme.
line that I don't know about?
Yeah, it's a joke.
Okay. All right. Well, I got it went past me.
Yeah.
Catherine wants to know what's our thoughts on Vegas. Will will they make a comeback? I mean, will they win again? I hope not. They look good. They look good. There's no doubt about that. They from what I watched, um, Hannafin and Hurdle, they were making a difference. Sometimes teams pick up guys and they just kind of out there. But every time I was, every time there was a lot of activity in Vegas was dominating puck possession. It was either Hannafin or Hurdle that was involved, and I think he scored a goal. I think Hurdle scored a goal. So that's going to be up to their goaltending. Logan Thompson, but if Hill returns to form, the Western Conference, I hate to say this. I'm excluding Vegas from this, but it just seems like the Western Conference is full of teams that kind of are pretenders during the regular season. Like Dallas ends up they look so good during the regular season and they don't look anything like themselves come playoff time. Now, Edmonton, that's another story, right? Are they going to score a touchdown every game? They might need to because they got Skinner in goal, right? Yeah. Winnipeg's defense doesn't look right. All of a sudden, they're the only team that allowed fewer goals than we did, I believe. And they allowed 6 the first game, and what was it, 4 yesterday?
Yeah, it was 4. Actually, yeah. I think it ended up being 5. Yeah, it was 5. Well, I think 5 might have been empty net or
might
something.
Might have been an empty net. Right. John says, how great is it to have a team like ours that we have a deep roster to help out in case injuries occur? Not that we want to see the injuries. No, and that makes a big difference. It's a big difference between this year and last year in terms of the depth and the quality of the guys. Remember last year, no disrespect, but last year was guys like either Denisenko or Dalpe when Kachuk was out, it was Denisenko coming in, right? That, Lorentz may not be he may not be a 1C, but he's a far better player than Denisenko. And Dalpe is a career AHL guy. So
hey, Paul, Bennett is out at least a week, but it is better than the Panthers initially feared.
Yeah.
So
that to me says they thought it was broken and it's not. Right?
Yeah.
So who knows? We with Bennett is kind of like with Forsling, one of those guys. You know what I mean? You're going to hear he's going to be out a week. And then tomorrow we're going to be like, Bennett's out there for warm-ups and he's a game-time decision. It's just going to be a matter of pain tolerance. Can he close his hand? Is it the hand or is it the wrist? If it's his hand, can he grip the stick? If it's his wrist, can he shoot? Can he, maneuver the stick at all? And he plays a physical style, so he can't go out there and, kind of like Kachuk was in the finals, holding his arm, just like, don't hit me, don't, you know what I mean? You can't do that. Yeah. What, Bubba? Did somebody hack Bubba's account? Bubba, how are we going to blow the lead when you're in goal?
Well, maybe we start Stolars in game 3.
No, Stolars would be good.
Oh, George Gonzalez says, greeting from Colorado Springs. Oh,
Bubba. Bubba was hacked.
I'm Nikita Kucherov.
Oh, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do it for us today because I still got to do I have anything to pack and ship today, Kyle? Did you look?
You got a few items.
Yeah, we sold something. Somebody came in at like 11 o'clock last night and bought a bunch of stuff. So, yeah. So Colin and I will be live again a half hour before the game starts. I forget whenever it is, a half hour before the Boston-Toronto game starts. And then we'll be live again tomorrow at noon. And I'll probably have something out about Bennett. Just a short video from the recap room about Bennett, because I know people are going to ask, and not everybody goes back and watches this one. So, all right, everybody, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for all the super chats. Hit that like button. Yeah. And what do we got? Yeah, we'll see you guys again in about 5.5 hours.
All right, take care, everyone.
Yep.